Cadwell Park in March. Don't generally test here this time of year due to the fact that it's so damp round the back here. This is Barn Corner. We'll do a quick lap from the start and finish and see the level of grip and talk you through it. Start, finish straight. You really want to be going over the last place man's position. When it's dry, we want to be upside of the pit wall. A little bit extra draft in there and gives us an extra few miles an hour before we approach Coppice, up down the side to the service road and turn in. Clipping the curb as we go. We're climbing now and turning onto Charlie's 1. Charlie's 1, then we rise to the top of the curb, look for the speaker in the grandstand, we point the car, take the second apex and power. Power, 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 down the long, restful park straight. Little bit of a kink, little bit of a rise. Just gives you a rest before you come to the tight right-hander at park. 3, 2, 1 on the braking, yellow flag out, so we've just got to be a little bit careful. Turn fairly late and then drift out to the outside coming up to Chris Curve. Catch the curb at Chris Curve and hold the constant radius. Constant radius, do not turn the wheel, and it'll bring you to the outside of the circuit, heading for the gooseneck. Aim for the ash tree, dab your brakes, down a gear, curb left, curb right, curb left, and down into Mansfield. Hard on the brakes, Mansfield always burns the brakes out. Look for the tyre wall, turn left, and clutch the apex. Must make the apex at Mansfield, other than that you'll finish up in the grandstand. Into the approach, to the bottom of the mountain, very greasy today, level of grip poor. Turn into catching the curbs on the inside there, curbs on the inside there, and up the mountain. You need to be on the left-hand side of the mountain. Other than that, there's a big dip in the top. Hall bends. Just been recently, the feature of hall bends has changed tremendously since I took the bank away. Straight line it, and break in a straight line for Barn. The old hairpin there. Part of the circuit we turn now, catching the apex on the inside of Barn. There used to be a barn there years ago, and down the start-finish straight. Now, is this guy going to let me pass? One's going to let me past as we go into Coppice. We go through here flat out 120, 130 miles an hour without braking on race day, on a hot day. Not a problem at all, the car sits nicely. Second apex and feed the power. Circuit stamp, I can feel the thing twitching a little bit. Letting me through. Thank you very much, that's good of you. That's been grass tracking now. Park straight. Park corner. Now belly, start to let me past. Start to behave yourself now. Go for the ash tree. Brake in a straight line. Down a gear. Now we're starting to work now. A little bit damp through the gooseneck. And we're through and power on, power on. Hard on the brakes, tight left Mansfield. Must make the apex, must make the apex. Feed the power. The car drifted away then. Needs softening off really, as the circuit is one of those particularly damp there. Cadwell Park's notorious for being skidding round. Pause for the camera. Working the steering wheel, hacksaw in the steering wheel, straight line through here. Loads of damage done to your car if we get it wrong round here. The old hairpin. Steve's plate around the old hairpin's magnificent on the superbikes. We really ought to watch him. Feed the power on from Barn. Used to be a pond there years ago. One or two of the bike boys have finished up in there. Or whatever it is. Looks like somebody's put a white line in. It's twitching all over. Look in your mirrors. Thank you very much. Right, here we go again. And the park straight, 3, 2, 1, on the brakes, because it's wet. A little bit earlier than normal. Look for the change in the tarmac, and round we go. Keeping the car, feeding the power as nice as we can round. The car's twitching slightly because the springs are so stiff today. Now one gear through the gooseneck. Enough there before. On the brakes again. One gear down. Damp on this corner. Must have had some rain here. Power on. Making the apex at Mansfield. It's an absolute must you make the air. We're twitching now at the back. Right, off we go. Down. Use the service road as a guide to turn into the bottom of the mountain. Oh, was the crowd pleased with this. Up to the power on. Power on. And into what Circa. Straight line. Try second gear around here now, it's got some grip. It just spins up if you're not careful. Oh, here we go. Right, let's try. Just a little bit closer to the pit wall this time. The puddle stood to it. Car feeling good. Fifth gear, 125 miles an hour. Dab the brake just to settle the car down. Down another gear. Into Charlie's one, as high as we can get, high, nearly pay to get back in. That's right, into there, good line. Take the second apex and power it now. Power, power, power. Wheel spinning a little bit on the inside edge, but that's okay. We can cope with that on the rear wheel drive. 3, 2, 1. Can't dare brake any later than 1 today. Otherwise we'll finish up in Louth. Hold the constant radius, look for the concrete square, and you want the back of your backside straight across the concrete square here at Cadwell. Look for the ash tree, brake in a straight line. Martyn always tells us that. And then catch the 2 apexes. Down on the power. Mansfield looking for that apex. Missed it. Understeer. That's just by making a minor mistake there. Lost a couple of tenths there. Side, but even Jensen but makes mistakes. Here we go. These javelin track days are pretty well organised, and the guys there everything they can, you know, to be as friendly and as helpful as they can. Good test session that. Good test session. Car feels good. Needs some suspension work. Time for Jeff Steele now to come and sort me out.